What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. Welcome to the final game of Lackey Grand Prix number 12. I know we didn't necessarily expect it was going to last this long, but we made it here into the final round with me and Chad Frantz, aka CtheTree. Both of us he was the 4 seed going in, and I was the 3 seed going into Top Cut. So both of us upset our semifinal opponents and now meet each other here in the finals for what shaped up to be a very wild and crazy game. We just played the game, and I'm getting the intro here for you now. The game, if you've already seen the score, then you know it ended up being a close game, that's for sure. I won't, spoil the end result if you haven't seen the score yet, but I will say that it was close, and so it's going to be a little bit of a longer video, especially because you'll have to have a little bit of grace for me with the editing process. For one, Chad wasn't able to do voice chat, and that was primarily because there was a sleeping baby in the room, and there were some times where he had to, attend to said baby. So there's a little bit choppy as far as the gameplay, how it all went out, but hopefully I can edit most of that down for you guys, so we don't have to hold you up too much. That's the magic of post, I guess. But also my editing time is going to be limited this week, so a little behind the scenes for you. Asking for grace. All right, what are we doing here? You might recognize this deck from 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago. The video called "No Evil Characters Safe." The deck is basically it's meant to put out your opponent's evil characters with David's Prayer and Moshe, and choose them to block. And you're going for evil characters that are fairly vulnerable, or the most vulnerable, I guess, and then having ways to deal with them, such as dominance like the Resurrection and Valley of Dry Bones, and Covenant with Adam is a great one. There's some stuff in reserve to go for some ways in the main deck, but a lot of the times you're just trying to manipulate, what the options that they have, choose the right blocker. Looking at their hand with Temple Veil or something like that is quite nice to help set that up and figure out what resources they have to block and who the best evil character to choose is going to be and all that jazz. I did make a few changes. I went from 57 to 51. That was kind of the main change and the main thing I wanted to do with this deck. The reason I'm playing it again is because I liked the deck. I was just, sometimes that's what I like to do towards the end of a Lackey Grand Prix or a tournament like this, especially when I was at camp for the past couple weekends. So the time that I had for deck building wasn't exactly bountiful. So I decided that I would just take one of the decks that I had played throughout the Lackey Grand Prix, change it up a little bit, do some things that I had wanted to do, which in particular for this deck was to get it down to 50 cards, make it a little bit more consistent, try to get the David's Prayer Moshe thing going on turn 1, and choose the blocker stuff going right away. And to do that, I did have to make a few difficult cuts, and like I said, I only ended up at 51 instead of 50, so there didn't get all the way down. But cut things, first you have to cut a loss and a lot of dominance, so I cut Prosperity, no longer here, and I cut Shipwreck, I guess I cut Vain Philosophy. I ended up also cutting Shipwreck in order to add the Resurrection. For some reason, I'm not entirely sure why I did that. I mean, it doesn't really add anything to the deck that wasn't, like, let me rephrase. I guess there's no reason to play the Resurrection that I added to the deck other than just adding the Resurrection. Like, the deck already had everything that the Resurrection is helpful for in it before, so if I wasn't playing it before, why did I put it in now? I'm not entirely sure, but it just kind of felt like it belonged with the way that the offense was shaping up to be. But I'm also running complacent, so there's a reason you shouldn't necessarily make changes to your deck right before a high stakes game like this one against Chad. But there are some nombos going on here and there, and you just got to deal with them and time them right and that kind of stuff. So it was fine. There were probably times where it would have been better for me to have Shipwreck, and I think that overall this deck probably wants Shipwreck more. I mean, honestly, you probably play the Resurrection over Valley. Valley is kind of nice because you don't have to have a hero in battle, so there are situations where it is more helpful than the Resurrection. But early on, especially if I'm playing this at a 50 card deck instead of 57, I'm trying to go for consistency and early pressure. The Resurrection is definitely better because Valley takes a little bit of setup, either heroes going to the discard or being captured, which this defense does like to do, but that is not quite as reliable. It's a dead card early on, which we can pitch to Shepherds and Grumbled. We are running both of those in this deck, but still, it's just I think probably Shipwreck goes in for Valley, but if you want to have more fun, Shipwreck goes in for the Resurrection. Valley is definitely a more fun card, I would say. So anyways, that was the main cut, the cuts for Lost Souls and Dominance. I cut the Priest stuff on the offense here, so I had to cut Aaron and Defender of the Saints from the main deck, and then also because I was cutting one of the Angels, I decided to cut Entertaining Angels. He could maybe still work in here with Angel from the Sun and Angel of the Winds, but you got to cut something, you got to make cuts somewhere. So that is what I ended up doing for that. And then also Zadok coming out of reserve. He's no longer in here, and that opened up space for Covenant with Adam to go to reserve because it was in the main deck, so that Book of the Covenant could search for it from deck if I did have Aaron. But I don't have Aaron or Zadok, so Book of the Covenant is not going to main deck in this deck, which means that Covenant with Adam can slide over to reserve. It is nice if I do pull it off turn one and they have an evil character that dies to Covenant with Adam, and I can get the whole deal, and maybe I could optimize the deck a little bit better to actually do that, but that's not the way that I ended up deciding to go for it. So cut Zadok and move Covenant with Adam over to the reserve. That I think was all the changes with the offense here. I cut Slave to Egypt, Slave to Egypt, I think. I'm not going to look it up. I want to know, but Slave in Egypt. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, Slave in Egypt. It's the capture all heroes in battle or discard the top 3 of your opponent's deck. Cannot be prevented. You got to make cuts somewhere. So that seemed like probably the weakest ability of the cards I had, like Balaam's Teaching and Better to Be Slaves. Both have draw options, which I think are good. Invoking Terror's Territory class and Offer of Exile and Death of Unrighteous have their own situational uses. I did realize during the game and talking with Chad too, he recommended adding Did God Really Say, which I think would have been a good add for this deck. It's very versatile. You can use it to negate a good or neutral card this turn. It's territory class, pale green, so it works in battle as a negate, or you can take out an important card for the turn, like a Herod's Temple, which this deck doesn't really like, and that's why I think Shipwreck was. I mean, that's really the main reason Shipwreck was in here initially, and probably should still be in the deck just because Choose the Blocker does not like Herod's Temple and defenses that benefit from it. It's kind of just hoping that people would be playing more Israel's Rebellion defenses, but that you'll see me complain about that at the beginning of the game, that is not the case with either of the games that this deck has played, so that's all right. And so that was the main change with the defense, or just card I cut, and then another swap I made. Oh, and sorry, I had a confusion of mind as well. That was kind of not necessarily an oversight from the first video, but it was um, like one that I knew should have been in the deck, but it was one of the last few cuts to get down to 57. Now I got down to 50, and I was like, well, I think it's worth having Confusion of Mind in there for 51. It's great with Balaam, being able to get it back. It's decent, I think, with Omen Interpreter as being an option that you can hit off of the top, just activate it during your opponent's turn while they're attacking. And yeah, so I think it belongs in the deck. It's very naturally and should be a part of the deck, and there's probably another card in here that I should cut for it, but I didn't take the time to figure out what that was, so I did not. And then in the reserve, I swapped out Judean Mediums for Necromancer. I think this was a fairly clearly beneficial change, or something that was worth doing. Like Judean Mediums is decent in here, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference. Like, there aren't that many situations where I actually want to pull it out, because for one, it just means I'm probably not getting initiative, or I'm less likely to get initiative, which this deck really wants. And then two, I don't necessarily need, like, by the time I want my evil character abilities to be CBN, it just probably wouldn't matter that much. And so having Judean Mediums in reserve isn't really that great. Like, Judean Mediums is really good with Red Dragon. There's maybe a few other characters that it's really good with, that it synergizes well with, and it would probably fit nicely in this deck, but I think Necromancer is just a better option here. Being able to get another use out of Balaam, or even Egyptian Magicians, or Divining Damsel, or one of your opponent's characters, or even Matthew, if you have a good dominant that you can reveal. Although, wait, no, that's right, it doesn't work because you don't copy the X. I don't know, maybe you can copy John to toss your next evil enhancement and draw two. That'd be actually kind of cool. Not that I really want to toss any of these, except maybe Invoking Terror. But anyways, that is a switch that I think made sense. So that is what we did. I think more negates would be helpful for the defense, like I was saying with Did God Really Say? So that's something that will probably change at some point. I don't know. I might not even come back to this deck anytime soon. But I did enjoy playing both of the games that I have with it. And do I think that David's Prayer and Moshe working together in a choose a blocker deck like this is like worth it? I mean, it's not broken or OP by any means, I don't think. I do think that David's Prayer probably just goes in a few Disciples decks, just splashed in. Maybe, like, I don't think you need both of them, but I think at least one of them seems like it fits fairly well if you have Simon in the deck, and maybe also if you're splashing and Covenant with Adam or something like that. Like, I think splashing these with Choose the Blocker is good, but you also get a similar effect with stuff like 20 Shekels, and it's maybe, I just don't think it's like absolutely necessary. It's really the best early in the game, and so the earlier you can get it, the better, but it's a lot of cards to get early on. I mean, really, it's these four that, you have to kind of get one of each from each pair, and it's not that hard, but there aren't really any or many good ways, I guess, to search for either of these enhancements, so you're kind of relying on that. That's probably where the majority of the bottleneck is, because getting the heroes is pretty easy. All right. Other than that, the deck is pretty much the same. It's just a little bit sleeker and more consistent. So that is what we're doing. Chad is running his Soul Surfer deck, kind of obviously the most recent version of it, which it's a deck that he's been working on for a while and perfecting. To the degree that it is, he's been to the degree that a deck can be perfect, I guess. So he's been working on that, and it's definitely a very solid deck. I feel like it would not have been as close of a game as it was if he didn't kind of get a weird draw, and you'll see how it all shakes out. Um, but yeah, cool deck that he's got, and there's a Land of Redemption article for it, I believe. So I'll link that in the description below as well. And I think there was something else I was going to say about that, but I don't remember what it is. So if you can think of something, then you can fill in the blank and do that. In the meantime, before we get into the game, we're going to talk about Your Turn Games, which is a sponsor here on Redemption with Jaden. They've got all sorts of redemption materials and products that you can go check out, including, but not limited to, the new Israel's Rebellion set and particularly the new Israel's Rebellion set with Roots now available inside the packs. So you could get a full pre-order of the complete set of Roots cards, which it's $199 for 224 cards. So it's a pretty decent deal. Saves you some time and money on getting the cards au naturel from the packs, which that's usually the way that I prefer to do. I'm looking forward to opening up some packs on the channel here, doing a video for that at some point. But that is all available now for you at Your Turn Games, along with all of the other stuff that they offer, like singles and the pre-built decks and all that jazz. So head on over to Your Turn Games, and let's go ahead and get into this game against Chad. Here we go. Here we go. What? You can't tell. It's only me. Alright. This is a hand. Chad won the die roll. By only me, I mean Chad is not joining in voice chat this evening because he has a sleeping baby in the room. So that is totally understandable. We've got a Salty over here, which is a little bit annoying. Means no Moshe for me. Distressed, Hopper, and Wanderer. Over on my side, I've got Shepherds, Distressed, and Darkness. So Darkness, probably just going to Deceiver right away, and then we'll Shepherds away something. I guess we'll see what we hit off of Virgin Birth here, but yeah, I think that's the way to go. No reason to activate 40 coin unless I find Peter off of Virgin Birth. That would be kind of nice. Virgin Birth or Shepherds, I guess. Suppose I probably, if I find Peter, I can underdeck Magic Charms. If I don't, I could maybe underdeck 40 coin. I could underdeck Blood of the Lamb because I'm probably attacking with Just a Martyr, and then I can just search for it. So, yeah, that seems like it's probably makes the most sense. Chad is choosing to go first. He's the star on Lost Child Found, presumably to play a Lost Soul from my deck since he already has a Salty out. Well, he's going to his own deck, so he's going full on Soul control, I guess. So, yeah, Wander, Darkness, okay, yeah. Maybe this is Soul Surfer, is that some version of that? I think that's how it goes. We'll go ahead and Virgin Birth and look at my top 6. So, good crowd's choice for Peter. He's going first. I'm going to get Deceiver with Darkness, I think. So yeah, let's just get crowd's choice. Send the rest to the top, and we'll send that to the bottom. And she's got a hopper that will hop. Hoppity hop hop hopper. Pretty sure we just get Deceiver here. I mean, like, I don't have anything to underdeck with Shepherds for Egyptian Magicians. Like, I have Crowd's Choice, which I could underdeck. Which would be kind of silly, so I think we just go for Deceiver here. And then we'll do Shepherds. We'll underdeck the Blood of the Lamb. And draw one. Alright. So, yeah, our blocking, I guess kind of our hope is to be able to just block with Damsel. Go to Deceiver to Damsel and get some information and some hand knowledge. He's playing Herods again. Man, I mean, not him again, but last time I played this deck, it was against Jake and he was playing Herods. So, Golgotha, Herod's Guard. Archelaus down in territory, alright. And Herod's Guard down in territory. Yeah, of course, he's going to negate evil cards, so I don't get the Damsel. Alright, so he's negating evil cards, and he's a 5/6. So I could just Deceiver to Balaam. I don't know. We'll just... we'll see what we got here. I don't even remember. What's all CBP? Anything? Just Balaam? Yeah, we'll make him play something, I guess. Yeah. We're preventing enhancements, so he's got to have something CBP, because Balaam is CBP, so. Hey, that works. We take those. It's interesting when he knew I had Deceiver. Kind of I mean, just a draw one, I guess, and sort of prevents me from getting value, which is good, but that was an interesting choice on his end to go first, unless he was just hoping to set up some defense with Golgotha. Alright, so we've got a couple artifacts to, well, lots of artifacts to put down. And, Salty is a little annoying. We play Crowd's Choice for anything now. I mean, we could just go get Peter and then draw. Could also go get a Matthew. Seems decent. Yeah, I like Matthew here. Nothing's protecting his hand, right? Yeah. Nothing is stopping searching either, so I guess just in case he has a dominant that, well, it doesn't really matter. Let's just do that. Oh, I suppose I could have looked at his hand beforehand if I did get Matthew. Oh well. That's fine. I can just activate Magic Charms. And we'll get everybody's favorite Matthew. Maybe not getting the rescue here, but Sin Offering and Life in the Sun, they're both CBP, so they get around Herod's Guard, which is nice. So we will revert to Meek, take a peek. Alright, so he's got a Deceiver as well, Herod the Great, which, yeah, so that's gonna probably work then, because then he's got a negate. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The upside is that Herod the Great block does not, or means no Herod's Guard here, so. But we got no dominance during battle, and that's about it. That's his Reprimand, Repercussion, Deceiver, AOC, Herod the Great, and okay, so he's probably, oh, interesting. So Deceiver to Herod Philip, oh, Foreign Wives, sure. Main deck Foreign Wives, seems good. Huh. Yeah, I won't be doing anything against that. Don't think. I suppose I could banish something. You could just negate it. I could just let Matthew die, I suppose. Yeah, I think that's fine. Don't really want to put Angel of the Winds down because of Herod the Great, but I think it's maybe okay. Probably would have been good to play something just because I have so many cards in hand, huh? Yeah. Yeah, that's probably I probably should have played this in offering just to hit Herod's Guard or something like that. Yeah, Life in the Sun to save Matthew, I don't think would have really been worth it. I could also just Life in the Sun, Foreign Wives to his hand next turn or something like that. Gotta get rid of 2 cards. I guess I just put down another artifact, and I can put down Damsel. He did have Authority of Christ, but I don't know. We've got Magic Charms too, so that will at least get us a character if needed. He didn't have another hero to play it on, I don't believe. So, okay. So I guess, oh, okay. I see. So his Lazarus attack wasn't really a bluff. He did have Authority of Christ, which he could have played, but because Balaam was preventing enhancements, then it didn't help. He just didn't have any enhancements with numbers. That was, so Balaam was the good right block there. Here's Temple. It's a little annoying. We're going to have to find a 3 woes for that at some point. Also, we have Foreign Wives available to choose as a blocker, which will be nice. Especially to set up like an Authority of Christ if we can get to that soon enough. That'll be good when he's got Complacent out, although I guess he did just activate the cross, so we have to deal with that as well. That's as awkward with all these dominants in my hand. Alright, he not find a hero from the looks of it. This is shaping up to be an interesting game, that's for sure. So I could go find Peter to my Herod's Temple. I feel like that's probably good. So we just found Blood of the Lamb. So yeah, let's turn down Charms. I like just having coin up here to do some drawing. And move to battle phase. Still no dominance during the battle phase, but that's okay. We could just go to Simon and choose Foreign Wives now. No, I don't think that's worth it. I think we just go to Peter. Like, he didn't really have much last time we looked, so... oh, I guess we are going to convert him to Meek. And go grab Herod's Temple. So we've got Blood of the Lamb, which can do some drawing and some playing, negating, all that jazz. And then Life in the Sun. Bounce, and then Sin Offering to negate or banish. I feel like we're set up fairly well here, even against Herod's. I'm a little bit surprised he didn't put Herod the Great in territory so he could do Herod's Guard to Herod the Great, although I guess Herod the Great isn't that great with Herod's Temple already in play. Like, is more of a first turn kind of like solid block to get Herod's Temple out and then toss against a low initiative hero or something. But all right, Malachite Slave coming out. Interesting. Herod Philip II, maybe? But he can get a little bit of drawing, I suppose. Oh, Outsiders. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to my bunch. So, yeah, that's, you can underdeck. Yeah, so he misplayed that a little bit. I think he wanted to activate Herod's Temple. He wanted to do the Herod's Temple Outsiders block and did not, or forgot to trigger Herod's Temple before Outsiders. Yeah, I think that would have, like, it's tough because then the special initiative goes from, like, you don't even get really special initiative because it would, yeah, the enhancement would be tossed. You're not, because the Outsiders does the underdeck, and then you'd have special initiative, but if you're already tossing with Herod's Temple, then yeah, you wouldn't get the, like, you wouldn't be able to play anything. And of course, since Karos Complacent is up, then that wouldn't be, like, I couldn't even play my dominance. I guess the Resurrection wouldn't work. Valley would, oh, I guess I do have Matthew. Alright, so he's targeting my Herod's Temple, my Peter, 40 coin, and Damsel, so I have special initiative. So I will play Blood of the Lamb. Do you have any way to get Damsel or Wives into battle? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, I only have 3 brigades, so he only has 3 targets. Alright, so Peter, Herod's Temple, and 40 coin. Alright, so then my special initiative. Negate Outsiders, draw 3. And probably just pass there. Or do I? No. Suppose I could put him in special initiative. I suppose I also could have just passed and then used my own Herod's Temple. Oh well. Yeah, because he was a 3/3. Yeah, that was silly. Oh well. I get an extra draw, and I get, well, I guess I get a card out of my hand, but it's a draw. Oh, all right. So he does have that. Oh, I see. Oh, wait. Yeah, I was supposed to activate Herod's Temple after that. This is why I don't like voice chat. Or this is why I don't like not using voice chat. Yeah, that's... Because you don't really, like, have to... You don't ask for initiative in the same way, or, like, you don't normally... Alright, so I didn't even have an opportunity to activate Herod's Temple because, you know, Repercussion has to negate Life in the Sun. So then, no longer being bounced. Reclaimed is still negated. Alright, so we both misplayed Herod's Temple in this battle. Alright, so Peter is withdrawn. I did still get some good drawing, which I like. Wish I had an Invoking Terror target. That would be kind of nice. I've got 9 cards in hand. I put down Conjurers or Simon. Put down Simon, I guess. Like, I've got Herod's Temple to protect, and I've already got Joseph, so he knows I'm on choose the blocker stuff. So, yeah, we'll pass the turn. Got Day of Judgment to play a Lost Soul. Yeah, so you can play a Lost Soul from just his own deck, because mine is protected with 4 Direct McCoin currently. Now he's protecting his deck with and hand with Crowds. He has not drawn a hero other than Lazarus yet this game. So we'll use the 4 drachma coin now. Oh, we would have gotten that. Oh, it wouldn't matter. Alright, then my turn. Alright, no stars, no upkeep triggers. I've got plenty of heroes now. Put down a shield. We don't have a way to negate Crowds right now, I don't think. So we can't take a peek at his hand quite yet. Let's just activate book, go to reserve. Most of these are going to be tossed. So right now, Outsiders is 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4 because I have purple. Let's just grab something with Adam. Feel like we're going to be able to do something with that. And so we can do Herod's Temple before block here. Huh. I think we activate that. So I guess I just need to choose somebody else to block. I could just, oh, I can't choose. I can bounce my Peter though. And then do some banding there. Band of Simon, choose Foreign Wives or something like that. Yeah, probably. Just hope he didn't find any more enhancements. I will just ban choose Simon. I'm not going to convert just so that I have the option for purple enhancements. Can play this David's Prayer. We'll convert Simon to Meek. Oh wait, actually, no. I'll reveal. And we'll see what happens. God, can't play dominance, can't. No, well, that works, alright. Alright, well, we got one. We can put down Magicians. I will probably discard those. I don't know. Let's do this. That one cannot be prevented, so it gets around salty. And mean, I feel like we just discard both of those. That doesn't feel great. Discard delivered. Discard 3 cards. I feel like I want to keep at least one. I just discard that. He's got to choose the blocker, and that's just gone. Yeah, let's just get rid of it. Sad, it's the whole, like, point of the deck, but Chad's deck wants none of that, so. Alright, let's see if Chad found some heroes. The cool thing here, if I do have an opportunity to block and he doesn't have a way to negate, better to be slaves, or like if he's not preventing stuff, I can block low, like Egyptian Magicians would be 2-1 with Covenant with Adam active. And then I can play better to be slaves to take his defense, and then DOU can shuffle stuff. Okay. So the thing is, we could do outsider. We couldn't choose outsiders before he has a chance to activate Herod's Temple. But he would still get the underdeck portion of it. So I don't know. We'll see. Ooh, we can actually just use that instead of DOU. I do kind of want to do Wanderer before DOU. Oh, that's right. He's got Herod's Temple. Reserving his Angel of the Lord. That's not the worst. So we can toss this for 4 and it makes it mutual. Then he just tosses Blood of the Lamb for something. Guess that was the downside of blocking low. Probably should have just blocked with Balaam. I mean, just work on taking out his heroes. Well, it wouldn't even take him out. It would just decrease him 4-4. Yeah, that was silly. Alright, I should have just blocked with Balaam. I mean, I guess he still could have done Herod's Temple and then decreased. Because that would have been, yeah, coming with Adam. Yeah. So it wouldn't have been that great. I don't think there's any reason to make him do that. Yeah. We'll just give him darkness, I guess. Really need a woes on that temple, but the cross ain't having it. Nice thing about it, Just a Martyr is that Herod's Temple isn't protecting it, so I could do go into captivity or magic charms to deal with that. Alright, is there a possibility that I am able to play dominance this turn, in which case taking Son of God would be nice. I don't think that is happening. So, I just take defense? I don't even know. I guess I take Confusion of Mind. And then I can underdeck one of these. I guess I can do Lawless first. Oh, there was a Lost Soul on top. It was Complacent, which I don't really want that. So, well, it's going to come out either way. Let's do Resurrection. Since we lost Egyptian Magicians, not really any point in underdecking an evil card. Upkeep. Draw one off of book. Do that. Wives is gone, so we don't have to worry about that. Alright, so let's do one of these. I guess, well, I suppose getting the helper, yeah. Getting fuel for that would be good. That's get tossed by the cross, that gets tossed by the cross. So what do we do here? Oh, that's right. So Herod's Temple is protecting these two. Not protecting outsiders. Outsiders is going to be able to bounce or to underdeck some stuff. Could just go to Justin Martyr for yeah, that way he can't, or he can't just, oh, I guess he can still just Herod Temple before blocking. Let's just put down Atmos. I can exchange for crowds. That works. Alright, so he's got a revolt. We want that to not happen. Yeah, we probably should have just taken out just a martyr. I mean, he's gonna draw another hero, right? I'd assume. Alright, so revolt and Herod the Great is what we need to worry about. Just deactivate that for now. Doesn't really matter. So he's gonna get to underdeck. Oh, if I just didn't put down Angel of the Winds and I bounced Joseph, then I guess I could have. Yeah, so he's gonna get to underdeck too with outsiders. I guess we just do it and make outsiders go bye-bye. I guess he could just underdeck Book of the Covenant with Outsiders as well. Oh, so yeah, I guess Outsiders would survive. But we can bait him into maybe not underdecking Joseph because he just assumes that I have something that I can play because it's before he can do Herod's Temple, but he definitely has to underdeck Book. Maybe I should have just done Peter, banded to Simon. Yeah, so he probably still targets Joseph here because he doesn't really have any other options. Yeah, so he saw the line. That was about all I could do, so that's fair enough. So that will go to bottom, that will go to bottom, and that will go to bottom. Do I even put down Angel from the Sun at this point? I don't know. Yeah, might as well. An Omen Interpreter. I feel like I should hang on to his sacrifice. Infusion of Mind would be nice. I don't think I'm going to need it in battle, though. I could just discard it so that if I do want it in battle, I've got Balaam that can go get it. I could put down Conjurers now that my Covenant with Adam is gone. I don't know. At some point, he's got to deactivate it, right? I don't know. All right, let's just put down that, and would like to keep my Sheol active. Did I not activate that last turn? No, I just played it this turn. That's right. I think, right? I don't know. Whatever. Leaving myself fairly vulnerable to the authority of Christ here, but hey, if he deactivates the cross, I feel like I'm in decent shape. Cross moving to Golgotha. So it's staying active still, which is not great. I do have Egyptian Magicians, which are in discard, which Necromancer could go find. He's got a Foreign Wives in his discard pile, which Necromancer can now copy with, with still being able to use the ability. It reads as this card instead of Foreign Wives when the ability is copied. So that is useful if he decides to draw. Although, that does give him kind of like free reign to drop that AOC and take out the rest of my defense, which is not ideal. Man, Herod's Temple could just kind of like solo me here. And I guess Offer of Exile at least gets me decent toughness, so he has to have a good amount of tossing on his end or a big enough hero. Which is good at least. And the Helper. I'm gonna get a Shield trigger. I should think about what I want to underdeck with that. Salty is a possibility, but I kind of already used most of my territory class stuff. I don't really care about Distressed. It makes my Joseph a little better. I mean, I could just underdeck his crowds and I have one less Lost Soul in my deck, but that's not really an issue right now. Could start underdecking Complacence so that I have Valley, and I guess that was one thing I didn't really realize with adding Resurrection to the deck, is that it gives me one more dominant that I want to play during the battle phase. But it's okay. Well, I assume he found a hero if Send the Helper is going up. Not sure if that's the right play here, but deactivated cross. You get to play stuff. Just prevents him from going right to Simon or choose the blocker kind of thing if he's got it. Don't really have much in the way of stopping an AOC here. Playing his own woes. Yeah, I'm doing, exchanging for crowds. And going Matthew. Can't play dominance right now, so... Oh, but he's got Herod's Temple still. That Herod's Temple. Just the worst. Should have wozed it. Maybe. I don't know. Do you have negates? Yeah, he's got Blood of the Lamb. Ah. Just gonna Herod's Temple. I guess if he does, then I can use Shield. Alright, so that's the plan. Yeah. That's discarded. I'll reveal the top 6. Take an evil card. Take that. The rest go back on top. And we'll add band. See, Damsel is negated. Doesn't really matter if we banned a Balaam, I don't think. No curses to take. Woohoo! We got around the Herod's Temple. There's the Son of God. Finally comes out. Like a side battle card in this deck. Just, I can play all my evil enhancements. Oh, he's shuffling my distressed people off the top. Sad. It's smart of him, and if that's what he was thinking about, then that's well played on his part. I could shield, or no, I don't have shield anymore. Can't shield. Cool. Cool. Doesn't have any heroes for me to fall away. Like I see, I mean, he's got Angel from the Sun, but that's not for choosing. Okay. No upkeep triggers. Oh, we do have an upkeep trigger. 3 woes. Temple. Feel like I just need to activate Confusion of Mind. Am I gonna get a Lost Soul here? That's the question. Am I going to get a Lost Soul here, I guess, is the question. Do I play these now? Before Cross comes back up for sure. I think that's... You have 1 Lost Soul left in there? Okay, so this will be the... This is the turn before the final round. So I should probably prioritize trying to get a Lost Soul here. Do I have a way to prioritize that? I don't know. Basically, does he have a way to negate if I go for Eternal Inheritance? Or I could just go for AOC, I guess. Yeah, that would be the way to go because Cross is deactivated. Yeah, so I think that's what we do. I get these out of my hand first. No, I don't really want him playing dominance during the battle. So. Oh, but Simon would negate Lost Souls, so he would still get to play dominance. Ooh. If I do Peter to Simon and choose Herod, do I get initiative? No. Well, okay, if he does, I can still have Valley, which can bring in Matthew, which isn't bad. Bring in his Lazarus, which is kind of cool. That would be if he played something before I play AOC. Which I imagine he would want to because he doesn't want all his evil characters to go away. But yeah, Peter to banning to Simon would not do anything. So yeah, all right. So Simon convert to Meek, choosing Herod. Oh wait, if I choose Archelaus, then he discards a good card from a reserve. So he gets to choose between, well, he gets to take out my AOC before I grab it with Send the Helper. Yeah, I guess that's not great. I don't have a way to negate that. So Angel from the Sun can go to somebody. Angel from the Winds would not. I think that's okay. Just have to hope he doesn't randomly hit my AOC in reserve. If he goes to my reserve, I'm assuming he does. If he does hit AOC. Could go with the Ascension. That's probably the best. Kind of want to save Eternal Inheritance for number 5. He still has Revolt. But he would have to get through the toss on John. So, yeah, who knows? Oh. Move random 1 to top of discard. Do have Joseph I can switch for, I guess. Do I do that though? I don't think I do. If he does have something though, I suppose he could play it after I add, which would be unfortunate. But yeah, we're preventing with. So we grab Matthew. Oh, should have rescued that first. Oh well. Lazarus. So I'm at 3, 7, 12, 2, 8, 14. Oh, right, yeah, Golgotha. So I could have drawn with Matthew, and I would have had a resurrection. Then I could have just, I probably still would have forgotten about Golgotha, but yeah. Yeah, and because of the interrupt on Revolt, Lazarus is interrupted, he doesn't reactivate, so all the stuff is going to work. Yeah, I should have just, yeah. I shouldn't have given him initiative. I should have just assumed that he wasn't going to have a battle dominant in his deck. I mean, he could have played Crowd's Choice into something or played Mayhem to stop me from doing something. I don't know, but the damsel's now looking at my hand. Gonna get to draw 3. He gets to do Omen Interpreter, looking at his, or revealing his top 6. Grabs a Deceiver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so I still have play advantage because of all these silly artifacts. I just can't like get the right stuff lined up. It was a really just weird game where I had a lot of defense. He had no offense, and I just had nothing to play because of his crossing complacent. So yeah, it's definitely a good matchup here. I mean, like even with him having a weird draw of just not finding his heroes. Yeah. So we all get set aside. As he begins a battle, and man, that was this is weird. Let's just do that. Do that on that, and that on, guess that one. And we're passing. See if we can do something. Herod's Temple is not negated, so our defense is pretty hopeless. You wanted book and then the helper under deck first, and then woes. So woes is on the bottom, which means that I can necromancer to my Egyptian magicians, reveal woes, and have that for Herod's Temple. That's something. Alright, crowd's choice. Oh, but I won't be able to play it during battle because of my own complacent. So yeah, he crowd's choice for his own second coming. Makes sense. Unless he takes complacent here. I don't know if he has any reason to do that, but he's just grabbing Son of God and playing it. This is his last turn, so if he rescues here, he gets to 4. Basically just puts all the pressure on me to get a rescue during my turn. If I do, then I get to 4. We're tied, which means we have to play another round. And if we don't, then he gets it. So, pressure's on. Now the cross comes back up. Yep. Which means he probably gets it because Herod's Temple can be used. And it's not woesable. Oh, and he's just going to be able to Simon for, yeah, to choose Conjurers. Oh, but he won't be able to play AOC because of the cross. I'll have Eternal Inheritance, but I will get to play something because it's not 4. So, love one another, I guess. I mean, I don't have a negate, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. He's negated by woes. And yeah. So it gets tossed. Conjurers is dead. Have to negate the cross, which I can't do. And we give up complacent there. So, will we get to 4? I mean, not only that, but I have to get to 4 and stop him from then getting to 5. So I have to find another block. Which means Confusion of Mind is probably going to have to be active here. So he's putting stuff into his discard so that outsiders can work. Makes sense. So he's not discarding things. Because, yeah. So if I rescue, then we're tied, and he would still get another turn. So he's, making, or it's not necessarily the final turn of the game just because it's top cut. So, or it's the final. So we have to finish it out. All right. Let's see here. That was a good timing on that. I like that. And we got the Joseph. Alright, so no upkeep triggers. I think we just gotta activate Confusion of Mind. See what he will discard instead. Probably AOC, I don't know. You might want to keep that in case, or like turning down the cross. It's got plenty of enhancements to pitch to it, so it's not surprising. I wonder if I should have just captured his Simon so it doesn't have a way to bounce it, and then... Yeah, that probably would have been better. Oh, he's got Herod's Temple, right? And it's still protecting, so... Yep, that makes sense. So I can't play that, I can't play that, and I can't play that. I feel like I am in trouble here. Let's see. His characters and Lost Souls and OT star abilities in hand are negated. Does that do anything for me? Wish it negated his neutral cards. That would be really good. Alright, we'll bring out the Distressing People and see what he's got. Alright, he did not have anything to play, so that works. Puts me at 4. Problem is I don't think I'm getting a block here, unfortunately. I don't know. He's got a bounce. He can choose, and then I don't have a negate, so he just needs one battle winner. But I know there's a possibility he overthinks it. I guess it's I did that a couple times already, but probably not because yeah, he already woes Damsel. I mean, he doesn't really have that many other options that are good, but yeah, wosing Damsel makes sense. And the helper to bounce Simon. Yep. Choosing Damsel. Yep. Go grab a battle winner. Yeah, you can grab that. That's Yep, he's got it. Oh man, that was crazy game. Yeah, that Outsiders just really put in a lot of work. I think there was a probably would have been a way that if there had been a way for me to avoid some of the damage that Outsiders did. Maybe there was at some point. I just choose different blockers, but like just the Herod's Temple, not being able to negate that was big. Um, just because the cross and complacent. I mean, mostly the cross, and then not having an answer for that was that was important. The fact that I didn't get to use any of my defense like during the blocks was not ideal. So yeah, that was the game. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So that was good. We had some issues with timing just because Chad had to take care of family and baby stuff during the game. So, but I think we got pretty close to like actually playing for 75 minutes, and the last round, or we got to time and had to, we were in the last, or we did reach time and had to play one extra turn, which was obviously pretty quick here, so worked out. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. I think so. There were a couple of things I could have done differently that I think would have gotten me there. Resurrection to, or if I had remembered to draw with Matthew, because Simon was negating the crowd, so I could have looked at his hand when I used Valley into Matthew. I would have drawn into Resurrection. Could have played Resurrection to abandon John to toss his next, because I still had Son of God and Second Coming in hand, so I could have revealed one of those. So that would have got me there, because that was his only evil enhancement left. I guess he still had Crowd's Choice. She could have done something with that, but anyway, that was one thing, and then the other was, I mean, I guess it was still in that battle. Like, I really needed that battle to not go the way that it did. If he didn't get to play Revolt to abandon my Outsiders, then of course he doesn't get to underdeck my Woes, and I get to negate the cross. And I think there are just ways that I can stop him, either falling away on this rescue, or just other things I can do here. So anyway, that was crazy. And then I have Resurrection for a battle, and and the AOC for the distressed choose. I can do Angel of the Winds to Simon or Angel from the Sun to Simon, whatever, and choose distressing people and hit the AOC. And I guess he would have Herod's Temple still, and I would only be able to negate one of those. So I don't know. Maybe Shipwreck does belong in here still, but anyways, great game. That was fun. So props to Chad for now taking another Lackey Grand Prix, and hope you guys enjoyed the game. We'll catch you next time.